On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks get a win against the Denver Nuggets. When did you know that Cooper Flagg was him? I already knew, but I just want to know when you did. Today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
I think that's a good question.
Good morning, Isaac.
Thanks, kid.
All these changes, I still got my dog, Dwight Powell.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like back.
And welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, where we let it ride. Your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for over 10 years. Thanks for being in every day or making Locked On Mavs your first listen each and every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Joining me, as always, the postgame prodigy from the great Slightly Biased YouTube channel. What'd you see from the Dallas Mavericks tonight, Slightly Biased?
Was Isaac in here, or was that the Ghost of Christmas Past coming back?
The Mavs start winning, and all of a sudden, ghosts just start appearing. The Ghost of Tank Pass, maybe, was Isaac.
The Ghost of Tank Pass. It's an alternate universe. Isaac was coming and saying, "You guys didn't fire Nico, did you?" He was right.
We kind of did see his vision tonight. So we'll talk about the Mavs win against the Nuggets. We'll talk about Anthony Davis's great game. We'll talk about the Mavs guard rotation being what it was, how the Mavs got off to a really hot start. But let's start here, Slightly Biased. I'm not messing around. Cooper Flagg is him. He's next level. He's potential MVP of the future, all NBA first team, number one player on a championship team. Like, he is going to be that kind of guy. And it's games like this where you just see the amount of different things that he can do in an NBA game to affect winning in so many different ways. They were doubling him late in this game. The Mavs were using him essentially as the point guard late. Maybe Jason Kidd's experiment of having him play the point guard to start the season what meant something and amounted to something. He scored 33 points. And this one had 20 in the first, over 20 in the first half, 9 boards, 9 assists, hit 4 threes. Like, if that starts coming around for him and he starts hitting threes, the most threes he's hit so far. But if that starts happening for him, all of a sudden, like, what do you do for this guy? He's 6'9", can handle the ball in traffic. He can finish over guys. He can finish through contact. Jason Kidd said the two things, when I asked him, I said, what's the next step for Cooper Flagg? He said the two things that he needs to work on are strength and time. And, like, there was several possessions tonight where you just saw him patiently get to a spot and then finish through contact. That little move where he has where he kind of comes off of a pick and roll, stops, and he sort of turns the corner where a defender's right into his body, and, like, the defender's arms are hitting his arms as he goes up and then goes into a floater. Like, that move requires strength. It requires patience. It requires timing. We're seeing advanced stuff from this guy who is, 19 years old in 2 days? And 2 days? Like both those things together?
Yeah, I mean, it is unbelievable, like you said. I mean, Jamal Murray was fantastic in this game. Probably going to make an all-star team this year. Jokic, fantastic in this game. Maybe the best player on the planet.
Sure.
AD was great in this game.
Great.
And, I mean, your 19-year-old rookie was the best player on the court. Like, that's not even crazy to say. That's not even just being like...
You've just been doing hot takes all day.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable how good he is, how comfortable he is. I mean, you mentioned it. Late in the game, they started sending doubles at him, and he made the right play every time. I think that last possession there, I just don't think it was a well-drawn-up offensive play where maybe he held onto the ball a little bit too long, but still, I think that ball got swung to Nembhard, who had a pretty good look on the wing, just didn't want to take it. But it never fazed him, and he made the right play every single time. This fourth quarter in clutch time for him, where 5 points, 1 assist. I mentioned all of the attention he drew, 0 turnovers. Like, this is one thing for him that's been great as of late. He's just not turning the ball over, especially considering how much he's handling the ball. And the fact that he is starting to see now help. It might not be like a direct double team, but it might be I'm showing help and I'm playing up at the elbow and we're going to go, close off these gaps. And it just hasn't fazed him. And now this 3-ball, he's 5 of 7 over the last 2 games. Like,
Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're doing. So, as a 19-year-old, he's 5 of 7 from 3. And someone mentioned, and I don't know how accurate this is, but like Someone kind of mentioned that the moment you turn 19, there's a ligament in your thumb that grows and attaches.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I have heard about this.
So you start to see what I'm saying, right? That makes total sense, and it passes the eye test. Somebody should send that to a doctor. Yeah.
Some people, if they have that, there's like some kind of syndrome where you keep growing ligaments in your thumb, and then eventually you're all thumbs. And those were the villains in that Spy Kids movie. They were all thumbs.
True. So we have to monitor that and see by 23 how much thumb ligaments Cooper has. But you want to know
how many thumbs he has.
And you probably didn't catch this because you're at the game, but you want to know how he's a killer. He's a demon, right? The game ends. He's getting the Peacock interview, and he's talking about the game. He's like, "Yeah, Jamal Murray was great, and Joker, he was really good."
I did not hear that. That is hilarious.
He called Jokic Joker.
That's probably just nerves, right? Like
No,
that's
that
you
is-
just
that is nerves.
combine two
That's-
words in your head.
Yeah. Joker and Jokic for sure. Joker, but I just thought it was funny of
Joker
you know,
is so funny.
like just disrespect from my rookie already. Just like he's so American AAU pilled. He's just like Jokic was good, but we did a good job on him.
Jokic. Incredible. I think you're right that he was the best player on the floor. He was definitely the one that drew the most eyes, where you're like, you have to know where he is with the ball at all times. And he had the highlight dunks that were getting people crazy. He threw alley-oops to guys that there was getting the crowd hyped. The threes were absolutely massive at big moments. He had a floater with 2:38 left in this game. He had the three with 3:16. That's more clutch buckets. Like, man, he keeps racking up these clutch buckets.
That floater was so impressive because he gets into the middle of the floor and picks up his dribble, and he's already in good position over a smaller player, Jamal Murray. And it would have been easy for him just to rise up and shoot that midi. Like, that wouldn't have been a bad shot. He's made that shot this year. Late in games, you get tough shots. But just the patience of mind to, he's established his pivot, right? He doesn't need to overreact or do anything, and just waits patiently to find the angle where he can get a little step through to get to that floater. It's just next level advance. And it's that scoring stuff from him where it's like, they shouldn't have been here yet. Like, and we didn't think it would be here yet. Like, we thought that was down the line. We thought it'd be transition, which we have seen, some good three-point shooting here and there, which we haven't seen, and just tenacious defense and just making the right play over and over. The scoring stuff is just, it's next level. That's what's crazy about it, is it's next level scoring, where you're like, okay, they've showed so many different defensive looks at him, and he's beat him every time.
That's the IQ from him, to being able to recognize what coverages are thrown at him and what defenders are coming at him and ways that he can get around. The Nuggets, they really struggled in the paint to defend. Mavs had 26 points in the paint in the first quarter. They had 66 overall points in the paint, and Flagg recognized it. He's like, all right, they have no help back there, whether it's Jonas Valanciunas or Jokic. If AD is spacing the floor anyway, and they have somebody on him, then they can't defend the paint. They switched. I think in the fourth quarter there was definitely some possessions where they defended AD with different players, like where they were like, all right, Jokic, just stay down low because we have nobody to help us in the paint. And Flagg was still like, that's one where he turned the corner and just had that massive dunk on Jones, just insane. That was 5 minutes left in the third quarter, where Jokic had to step out a little bit, and they're like, all right, we just can't have our center just 20 feet from the basket anymore. Yeah. We have to put him back there and have him be the low man on defense in some way. But just Flagg recognizing those coverages, 14 of 21 from the field. What else can be said? He's incredible, and like this is where it starts for him.
Yeah. I mean, going back to that play, we talked about how advanced the scoring is. Like, Cooper kind of fried this Nuggets team in Denver not a few weeks ago, and Jokic was dropping on almost every single ball screen Coop got. And that play you're talking about, Jokic is showing on the screen.
Right.
And Coop, he's obviously super athletic, and it wasn't even like a speed burst that got around Jokic. It was a quick first step, and then patience, understanding, I have good positioning on this guy. I just need to get to my angle on the floor. And that's something Coop understands so well right now that it's just like, dude, what on earth? Like, how are you recognizing this and getting to these spots so easily?
There was multiple plays in the first half, especially where they were backing up on Flagg. They're like, all right, we'll let you, because that's sort of been the book on him, is that, all right, you just back up a little bit, and if you can wall off the paint on him, and like don't let him take, or you can let him take a three, let him take a long jumper. That's fine, but just back up and then be ready for him when he gets to you with a drive, and then kind of swallow him up. But he was hitting floaters, the mid range. He was obviously hitting his threes tonight, which changed a lot of things. And so then the Nuggets had to switch up their coverage and switch up what they were doing, which then opens up the floor for other guys. And Flagg had an incredible pass to Naji. I thought with a minute 24 left to put him up 131 to 125. That Naji theory was great. Yeah, skip pass across the court. That was key, and that was because the coverage changed, I think. And they had to put more guys in the paint. They had to wall off the paint, so Naji was open in that opposite corner, and that was massive. Yeah. Coming up, Mavs get the win. Anthony Davis, a massive reason why. We'll talk about Anthony Davis's importance and his impact in this win coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks daily fantasy made easy. Holiday season is one of the best times for sports. Bowl games, big basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. That's why we're making all the choices. We're all making choices every day. One of the most fun places to make the right call is Prize Picks. All you have to do is go to Prize Picks, and you can do this in 45 states. That's almost all the states. Texas is one of them. I don't know if Maine is one of them. Maine is like a real big Mavericks place now. I don't know why. Maybe there's a player here from there. But you can do all kinds of stuff with Prize Picks. All you have to do is pick a lineup, and then you pick more or less on stat projection. So if you had Cooper Flagg, let's say 20.5, more or less on his points, hopefully you took the more on that one in this game because he absolutely hit the more on that. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use this code, LOCKEDONNBA. You get $50 in lineups. So you can play any lineup using those $50 and after you play your first $5 lineups. You play $5 on a lineup, you get $50 no matter if you win or lose, doesn't matter. That code is LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Shut it down! Oh, let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, listening every day. Appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show. We have a daily show that covers your favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, right here. So subscribe, be part of the Everydayer Club where you get ad-free episodes of this show, plus access to the Discord, our text line as well. Subscribe to either of those things. And we're talking about the Mavs win against the Denver Nuggets. Cooper Flagg was awesome. Absolutely incredible. Anthony Davis, I thought was awesome.
I've got a couple other Cooper
Keep
Flagg
going.
notes.
Say the thing.
And we'll get to it because AD was great. Deserves a ton of praise. One more thing. Yeah. A couple of plays, and a big reason why, and I swear this is why I've been kind of you just can't tank with this team, because Cooper Flagg makes plays. There was a play at the very tail end of the first half when the Mavs turn it over under their own basket, and the Nuggets get a leak out opportunity, and Flagg sprints all the way back to the other end of the floor, 90 feet.
Yes.
Beats Cam Johnson to the basket. Perfect vertical contest. No block, nothing. Like, you won't even see it on the scoreboard, on the stat sheet. Forces a miss. Huge, momentum play. That kind of energy is so infectious and contagious that it's just like, if that guy's out there, there's just, that stuff always sort of bleeds through to the team. And it's a big reason why, look, I'll just say it, it's a big reason why over the years we'd get frustrated at times with Luka, because it's like, dude, this stuff bleeds through the team. Like, it just does. If you've ever played any professional sport, like me, obviously, if you've ever played any sport at any level, doesn't have to be professional. You know that you go as your best player and your number one guy goes. And with Coop, there's just an effort level that's contagious.
Absolutely. That play was at the very end of the second quarter. And you know what he did right after that?
What's that?
He hit another three. He hit another three, and that was just a massive end and a massive momentum shift to the end of that first half. And I thought that play was incredible. I highlighted that play multiple times too, because the things he can do on offense are amazing. That's basically what all we talked about at the beginning. But what he can do on defense is, that created more too. We saw the Pelicans start to try and attack or pick on Cooper Flagg a little bit, and I don't think we saw that very much in this game.
No, he was great defensively. One more Cooper Flagg thing.
Yes, please.
One more thing.
Ding.
I've got this for our boy KOC, who said some spicy stuff about Cooper earlier in the year.
He said some things that he thought execs said. So okay, I don't know.
True.
Did he agree with it? I don't think he did. But
all right, and this was true at Duke. So at Duke, before December 21st, he was shooting 24% on threes.
Right.
And from then on out, shot 44%. So there is already kind of an established precedent for Coop of being like, sometimes it just takes him a little bit to get the three ball going. And who's to say?
You know who else is like that?
Klay Thompson.
Maybe the second, third best shooter in NBA history who was on this roster, and that's Klay Thompson, who does the exact same thing. So, will Cooper Flagg be as good a three-point shooter as Klay Thompson? Yeah, probably.
I was about to say. Who knows? Who's to say?
Let's just take it. Let's take it all the way there, right? Let's just take it all. Let's take it all the way. Let's take it all the way.
Will Flagg grow to be as tall as Wemby? Yeah, maybe.
He could. Yeah, he very well could. He's 19 in 2 days.
True. Could still be growing. That growth spurt's coming.
I don't think we can go any farther without saying how much of an impact Anthony Davis had on this game.
Oh, yeah.
31 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, hit a 3, 12 of 19 from the field, just under 36 minutes. I mean, his defense, his walling off the paint, he is one of those. He is a hard star to evaluate. Because he's got the ball in his hands, he's scoring, he's doing all that. He's like, all right, what kind of star are you? And all through the offseason, I was calling him a finishing star on offense because that's what he is. He's just an incredible finisher where you just put him in a pick and roll and anything could happen at the end of a pick and roll. Where some guys, it's just only a dunk, only a stop, and but Anthony Davis can do everything at the end of a roll. He also can do pretty much everything on defense too, and that to me is just like an anchor. He's such an anchor that anytime he's on a team, that there should be a floor for an Anthony Davis team. And I don't think we've seen Anthony Davis's best throughout this season. He's been in and out of the lineup because of injury. We know that he wasn't able to work out in the offseason because of the eye surgery, the retina surgery, so he came in out of shape, and he admitted he came in out of shape, and he said it was on purpose, and then we saw him during the season. We were like, I don't know if this was on purpose, but if this is the Anthony Davis that we're going to get, man, this was an incredible player, an anchor for the Dallas Mavericks. He's played Jokic well historically from everything that I remember watching with those Lakers and Nuggets matchups. But this was an incredible game. Definitely his best game of this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up there. I mean, he's been really good since coming back. I mean, they're 4-12 when he doesn't play this year. So, and I know there's a bunch of other injuries that can get lumped into that because a bunch of guys have been in and out. But this is they're 8-7 when he plays. That's. Like you said, there's an added floor to it. Your defense is probably going to be good. And I know the defensive numbers for the Mavs hasn't been very good recently, but eye test-wise, I think they're sacrificing some stuff to push the pace a little bit more.
Well, and their guard rotation was
right.
Jaden Hardy, Ryan Nembhard, Caleb Martin had a little resurgence, but D'Angelo Russell was coming in there, Brandon Williams. I mean, with those 4 guards besides Martin I mentioned, your defense is going to be bad.
Right, yeah. You're going to have a weak link on the floor at any given moment. But
2.
Like a weak link, right? Not we kind of might hide this guy's just
that British lady from the game show is coming out and being like, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Oh, I remember that show.
Do you remember that?
Remember, what's that, Chase the Beast?
No, just a weird game show.
That was a very strange one. I always thought that was scripted.
Is that where we got Mr. Beast? Did they chase the Beast and at the end of it they found the guy Mr. Beast?
No, I can't imagine.
He was just at the end of that run. Finally, somebody or was he the one that did chase it and then he got the title, the mantle of the Beast was then passed.
I'm just dead at the fact that one of the biggest names in the world right now is Mr. Beast. That gives hope for Slightly Biased Enterprises. Anything can happen.
Hey,
guys.
You know what? Absolutely.
Anything can happen. But no, AD, and I've been an AD defender here. I've defended the dude. I just think he gets, by Mavs fans, and I understand it. I get it. I know why there's feelings towards him. But he's a much better basketball player than he's been given credit for by the fan base of the team that he plays for.
Or that we've seen.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, that's a good point too. But also, it's one thing I've said where there's 29 fan bases in the league who would be like, oh, hell yeah, Anthony Davis is on my team. But this is the one fan base where it's
28.
Who's the other one?
That Pelicans franchise, those fans would not welcome him back.
True.
We didn't even talk about the boos he got after that game.
I was surprised by that.
Man, I was not. I was surprised by how long they lasted because usually you get the boos in the first quarter, but I mean every time he got the ball, they just kept coming back with more raining down boos on him.
It's crazy that was 8 years ago though. Wow.
I think he played longer on the Lakers than he did on the Pelicans, right?
I mean, I know the Lakers were LeBron's longest stint, which is just still crazy. But
wild.
Yeah, I mean, 31 tonight, 35 against the Pelicans, 24 and 15 against the Sixers. I mean, rebounding wise, 14 rebounds, 14 rebounds, 15 rebounds, 17 rebounds, 9 rebounds.
That's been massive.
Right. I mean,
the four offensive rebounds, I think, are the big one for me.
Yep. Yeah.
The putbacks, that's the thing that the Mavs just were losing. Obviously, without Lively, Gafford has not been himself this season. We have not seen, I don't think, 50% of what Gafford is. But the Mavs have been terrible around the rim, offensive rebounds. That's when Anthony Davis is not playing. When he's playing, that adds a whole other element, and that was the thing they were supposed to be good at, is around the rim protection, putbacks, offensive rebounds. Like, that was supposed to mitigate all the loss in three-point shooting and shot creation and all that kind of stuff. And we just have not seen that for most of this season because AD's been out. Lively's obviously out. Gafford has been in and out and hurt. And that's just been brutal. Coming up, though, we have to talk about the kid move at the end. Speaking of bigs, because he played Gafford. He played Gafford and AD at the same time. Was it a smart move? Well, it ended up being one, but we'll tell you why coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA. You get $20 off your first purchase if you have never used it before. And if you haven't used it before, I highly recommend it because I use Game Time all the time during basketball season. There's nothing better than being in the building. I talked to so many of you tonight, listeners, and they said, I was asking them, are you on Team Tank? Are you on Team You Want to Win? And I was like, man, as soon as I get in this building, I'm on Team Win every freaking game because it's so fun to be in the building, feel the energy, feel the hype when Cooper Flagg puts a dunk down. That's where Game Time comes in. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage back, making it incredibly easy to score amazing tickets, fast, simple, without the guesswork. Browse the Game Time app. It's straightforward. It's intuitive. I've used it for a bunch, not just basketball games, but I've used it for football games. I've used it for theater, music, comedy, all kinds of stuff like that. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use this code, Locked On NBA. That's LOCKEDON NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today and get in on the action with Game Time.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Slightly, we're talking about the Mavs win against the Nuggets. Big reasons: Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, their best game probably as a duo together. And they listened to you. They ran some pick and rolls late with the two of them. They were actually running some of that action. And they, Jason Kidd, confirmed listener of Locked On Mavs, apparently.
I said, give me a sign.
Give him one. Late in this game, though, Kidd decided to go with Gafford, and he went with AD at the same time. They checked in with like 3 or 4, or like 5 minutes left. Yeah, with 5:29 left, the Mavs were down by 1, and the Mavs ended up winning the game. And I thought that was a very interesting thing. But Gafford had some massive plays. He had a help block on Jonas Valanciunas with 5 minutes left to go. He had a pick and roll with Cooper Flagg, where Cooper Flagg was able to get a floater off of that screen. He had a couple other pretty big plays, and I thought that was interesting. And I thought, first of all, I looked at it and go, well, he's like their next best player. He's their best player off the bench. So you've got to play your best players at the same time. Just because they're bigs, why should it matter? And I thought it was an interesting move for sure, but it ended up working for Kidd.
Well, and the Nuggets had Jonas and Jokic out there too.
Right.
So it was to sort of counterbalance that. And it's funny because just last night we were like, the Mavs tried that and it was dreadful. And it was
bad.
I was like, that was terrible. That lineup didn't do a single thing you need that lineup to do. They didn't get any stops. They didn't get any rebounds. It was the complete opposite tonight, where they had 4 second chance points with that group. And just the 4 minutes that they played together, they rebounded well. They were able to generate some threes off of that, just the big inside presence and kicking out off of that. So, yeah, I mean, it worked tonight. Kid just always seems at the end just to have the last laugh, it feels like. That does seem to be the case. Usually.
Well, he does. He has these fact-finding missions with these lineups where he's like, I just want to see how it works. And then it fails miserably, and then he goes, well, let me just pull it out again, and let me just see how this works again, and then it actually works in the moments when you actually need it to.
Yeah, that's like the fan thing that we talked about sometimes, where it's game to game. It's difficult for us to just be like, yeah, no, we're cool with taking a loss tonight. It means you're trying this lineup out. For the coaching staff, we want to see what this looks like. We're thinking more long term. If it fails, it fails. We want these guys to grow and develop and get these reps. So it's just the difference there.
That was a fascinating, I think, stretch right there, and yeah, I thought that was interesting. Mavs had size. They had their very first play. Gafford was spacing the floor out in the corner.
I love that.
little weird, but it just gave him a different look, and it was funky, and you couldn't like help off of Gafford because then all of a sudden he's running in there grabbing a huge rebound.
Yeah,
it was an interesting look for sure.
Caleb Martin.
Okay, Caleb Martin.
This is 2 straight games of like seriously pretty good basketball.
Are we back? Played just under 25 minutes. He had 9 points. He had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He did have 2 turnovers. He missed a 3, but 4 of 5 from twos.
And he hit a foot on the line too.
He hit a free throw.
Yeah.
Are we back 2 games in a row? If Caleb Martin is an NBA player, like that is only a good thing for the Mavericks. They need rotation players. There's so many guys missing in this game we haven't even mentioned yet. PJ was out. You got Dwight Powell. There was a massive miss that was out. Max Christie, Klay Thompson, obviously Kyrie, Dereck Lively. But Caleb Martin, if he's playing like an NBA player again, which I believed in Caleb Martin, I was right. I was like, here we go. Like we're at least gonna get a good defender. The 3-point shot last year, I was like, all right, I'm out on that. I don't that's got to be fixed over the offseason. And if it does, then he's a solid NBA player. But he just had a horrible start to the season. But last two games look good.
Yeah, I mean the thing for him is he can't be like the worst offensive player in the league on the floor. Like that's because defensively you're getting somebody who can kind of fly around, can guard up. You know, it puts forth a lot of effort defensively. So you can have defensive lineups where it's like, oh man, like the Mavs are just kind of smothering right now. But it doesn't really matter if in those offensive lineups it's like, yeah, one guy on this floor can shoot. This guy's scared to have the ball in his hands.
Right.
This guy's scared. Like, so if Caleb's aggressive and attacking space and stuff, it becomes a little interesting. And he's played well the last 2 nights.
And it adds somebody else that's played in a finals, right? That's played in bigger moments than just a regular season game for the Mavs.
Played this Nuggets team in the finals.
That's right. Naji Marshall, I thought, was massive, especially to start the game. The big reason why the Mavs won this game was their first quarter. The Nuggets came out and looked like they were sleeping. And Naji Marshall was a big reason that they were able to get out in transition. He had a couple finishes. He had a couple assists. Finished with 15 points, 3 assists, 4 boards. Only 1 turnover. Hit 2 threes. The 1 3 that I mentioned late in this game. Naji was awesome, man. Like he just fit. And when he hits threes like that, when Flagg hits threes, I mean, what are you going to do with this offense? The offense looks like an NBA offense. It actually looks like a great offense.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Naji set the tone early, and that's big for this team. Some uncharacteristic floater misses.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Would you go to the basketball gods and say, hey, we'll take 10 percentage points off Naji's floater game and give it to his 3-point shooting? Would you do that?
Yes.
I would make that trade. Threes. And I think we made that trade with the basketball gods today.
That's okay. I'll take Naji's 2 massive threes in this game.
Huge. I thought Ryan Nembhard was really good too. 11 points, 7 assists. Was shooting. We mentioned before, like he's got to shoot. He can't just be, a passing, robot out there that doesn't shoot, right? Like he can't just be that. 5 of 11 from the field. And he only had 1 turnover to 7 assists. Was a plus 24 in the game. Like the Mavs won the minutes when he played because I thought he was creating stuff, pick and rolls, all that.
Yeah. I mean, I think for the Mavs guards, it's probably just going to be this. Some games are good. Some games they're not. Some games they're super impactful. Some games they're not. Like that's kind of what you sign up for. You have minimum guys and a 2-way guy. So
that's role players. Role players in the NBA, some nights they look awesome. You look up some of the stats where you're like guys that have scored 40
was good tonight.
You look up stats where some guys have scored 40 points, and you're like, oh, Grayson Allen's on here. Is he having a good season? Well, not really, but he had a 40-point game because NBA players, when they have a really good night, can be awesome, and then when they can have terrible nights because they can't keep it up consistently as the rest of the stars because that's what makes them stars. And Cooper Flagg is turning into that. Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs. Go listen to Slightly Biased. Great show all the time over there on YouTube. We've got the Everydayers Club and the text line that you can subscribe to get more Locked On Mavs. Guys, thanks for listening to Locked On Mavs. Peace out.
Great game.